Hey there, besties. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're continuing our recap of the manhwa, Never Let Go of My Ex-Husband. If you're new to this series, check the description below for links to previous episodes. Lastly, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy the video. It really helps our channel grow. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. This woman is really shamelessly honest, Lin Du thought, his eyes still locked with Shi Weiyi. He chuckled before sitting back on the bed. Let's see what you've got to make me interested in the following 3 years, he told her with a faint smile. Interesting, he thought inwardly. After all, I'm a man and you can't force me to do anything. Sure, she replied, resting her hand against her chin as she considered her next move. Sir, who knows what's in the chocolate box? Shi Weiyi said with a flirtatious look. Let's see, she thought inwardly. The next morning, the couple ate breakfast together. Today, Lin Du and Shi Weiyi were going to the family mansion to visit Lin Du's grandma, Madame June Xilan. Over breakfast, Shi Weiyi reflected upon their first night together as a married couple. They had slept using separate duvets. It's our first time together and this man is guarding himself as if I'm his enemy. He didn't even share the same duvet with me, she thought, looking annoyed as she ate her food. I'm done, she said suddenly, not finishing her meal. You didn't eat much, Lin Du remarked, his gaze fixed on his phone screen as he held his cup of tea. Because I want to eat you more, Shi Weiyi replied, kicking his leg softly under the table with a flirtatious smile. You, Lin Du thought, becoming slightly tense. He tried kicking her back, but Shi Weiyi dodged his kick, making him hit the table leg hard. She laughed silently at his misfortune. Lin Du trembled slightly from the pain but tried to hide it. Boyish, Shi Weiyi teased, still laughing. You want to kick me? Dream on, she thought inwardly. Just you wait, he muttered, still feeling the pain as he picked up his phone and continued typing. Shi Weiyi got up from her seat and walked over to him. She wrapped her arm around him, leaning closer to see what he was doing on his phone. What am I waiting for? You've been playing with your phone for quite some time. Why don't you let me warm you up? She suggested, peering at his screen. Her eyes widened as she saw his Instagram account. You're posting on Instagram? She asked, looking a bit perplexed. Lin Du made a post, writing, My wife keeps hitting on me, what should I do? This quickly garnered numerous comments from his admirers. Shi Weiyi almost forgot that, apart from being the CEO and leader of the Lin family, Lin Du had another identity. He was known as the National Stud, a figure who authenticated people in the entertainment industry. With 30 million followers on Instagram, all real fans, he was a significant online presence. It was well known that Lin Du was a formidable figure in both political and business circles, but he also enjoyed creating drama on social media. Lin Du frequently posted content that entertained the public while offending celebrities. He had gained fame by revealing the true colors of popular actresses and providing real evidence against some low-life actors. Sir, you are such a top-notch online celebrity. 3,000 comments already, Shi Weiyi said, still wrapping her arms around his neck as she read his feed. A user named No. One Mrs. Lin commented, What? My national hobby is married? Another user, Mr. Lin Missy, posted, Fake news. Another user texted, No way. Impossible. You must be in a dream, dear Du. A user with the username Madly in Love with Lin Du commented, I know this. Our hobby and the bride got married in 15 minutes. Another user wrote, kill me. What kind of woman could marry Lin Du? Sir, is this a kind of persona you show to the public on purpose, or do you have dissociative identity disorder? Shi Weiyi asked, twirling his ear as he raised his tea to sip. What are you talking about? Lin Du asked, not understanding her words. Wait a second, dissociative identity disorder? Yeah, he was proposing to me and showing his passion at the wedding. However, he also made me sleep on the floor. I smell DID, she thought as she watched him. Who am I kidding? You're just a whimsical freak who's sometimes cold and noble and sometimes flippant and flirtatious, she said coldly, seeing right through him, causing him to choke on his tea. Lin Du kauft. Huh? He exclaimed, watching her with an awkward look. That sounds like relationship-based dog training. What the hell? He thought, still holding his teacup, looking perplexed. Yahoo, sir, here is your birthday present, Shi Weiyi said, dangling an antique in front of his face. This jade ring can clean your aura and help you stay healthy. I will give you a better present when I make big money, but my best wishes to you are priceless, she added, leaning forward toward his face. She cares about my birthday? Lin Du thought as he watched her. This jade looks like an antique. Is this a family heirloom? He wondered, holding onto it as he observed it. Spot on, sir. I've given you my most precious thing, this 200-year-old antique handed down from my mother, Shi Weiyi told him, sitting down at the table. She's right. This is an antique. She had a hard life, and this jade must mean a lot to her, he thought, observing the heirloom closely with a serious look. Right? I will keep it safe, Lin Du assured her with a faint smile. Yup, Shi Weiyi replied, looking delighted, her cheeks turning red. This is the first time I saw him smiling from the bottom of his heart, she thought inwardly. It's about time we should be going, Lin Du told her, wiping his mouth and placing the napkin on the table. Although we're in a contracted marriage, I hope we can act as a good team in front of my grandmother, he said, walking away from her and adjusting his buttons. Oh, for sure, Shi Weiyi replied, playing with her hair and not looking scared. My grandmother isn't as easygoing as I am. Miss Shi, good luck, he told her while adjusting his tie. At the Lin mansion, Lin Du's grandmother, June Xilan, was being attended to by Shen Mu, Lin Du's cousin. Granny, that woman is hardly a match for Lin Du, Shen Mu said. Mu, I know you like Lin Du, but he's married now, June Xilan told her while tending to her flowers. Weiyi is the only Madam Lin now, so you should know your place, she added, not minding Shen Mu's words. But, Shen Mu began before being interrupted by a maid. Madam, Mr. and Mrs. Lin have arrived, the maid announced, bowing down to June Xilan. Let them in, June Xilan instructed the maid. He got married so willingly. He's really got the nerves to come back and see me, she thought, tidying herself up for their arrival. Although Li Fei thinks highly of her daughter-in-law, I still have to see her with my own eyes, June Xilan mused, sitting up properly. 15 minutes later, June Xilan sat down with the couple sitting opposite her. Grandma, you look very well. It's the right decision for us to invite Dr. Ouyang to perform the operation on you, Lin Du said as June Xilan observed a flower closely. The ink Taoism floral design is very elegant and balances the body and the mind. I am also very keen on floral designing. If I may, I'd like to learn it from Grandma, Shi Weiyi said excitedly. I heard that Shi Weiyi has been selected by the Dragon Scale College. She must be brilliant in what she studied. But a qualified Mrs. Lin must treat the welfare of the family as her priority, June Xilan thought, her facial expression remaining serious. You got married too hastily. It's the 21st century. The doctor can treat me. You don't need to cheer me up with a big wedding, she replied to Lin Du. We mustn't rule out the possibility, Lin Du said, picking up a tangerine from a plate. It's just for good luck, Grandma. Besides, you and Mother used to hurry me to get married too, he added, peeling the fruit gently. So, have you gained Zhuo's approval already? June Xilan inquired. Perhaps not. He's quite mad at me. Before the wedding, he said something cute like I should marry him instead of his daddy, Shi Weiyi told June Xilan with a smile. Childish talk, Lin Du thought, wearing a faint smile and still not taking his son seriously. Oh? Didn't Zhuo hate interacting with females? June Xilan asked with a worried look. Zhuo never experienced love from his mother. All the young girls who tried to get on his good side did so for Du's sake. That's how he developed enmity towards women. How could he get along with his stepmother he only knew for a few days? She thought inwardly. Grandma, do you remember that Mother hired a nanny for Zhuo when he was 3 years old? Lin Du asked June Xilan calmly. Yes. Didn't she get fired for professional incompetence in 6 months? She asked him. We didn't tell you the whole truth as we didn't want to worry you, he told her, his voice getting calm. That nanny's real intention was to approach me. And she did something really bad to Zhuo, he said calmly, his face turning sad as he leaned forward, his hands clasped. She abused Zhuo many times when no one was around. She would then take Zhuo, who was poorly crying, to see me. Zhuo had been mistreated for a long time. When I found out, it was too late. Zhuo had already developed an extreme fear of women, Lin Du explained, shocking both of them. What? Jun Xilan asked in horror. Appalling. Zhuo has been mistreated before, Shi Weiyi said calmly, her demeanor sad as she felt pity for him. Lin Du took her hand. So when I saw Zhuo show great affection towards Weiyi, I said to myself that I would choose no one but her. Grandma, I hope you understand, Lin Du said, raising Shi Weiyi's hand as he held it. Oh geez, so his favor towards me depends on his son's affection. I must really like Zhuo, otherwise I wouldn't be so pleased, Shi Weiyi thought inwardly. Grandma, please trust me. I will never let Zhuo have any bad memories ever again. Shi Weiyi assured her. Okay. It's a good thing that Zhuo likes you and is willing to rely on you. I hope you will guide him well and bring him up with all your heart, Jun Xilan told her, still holding her flower. It takes time for people to know one another. I hope she is what she appears to be and takes care of Zhuo, she thought inwardly. Shen Mu stood at a distance holding a tray, not uttering a word as she heard their conversation. That explains everything. That woman nails Lin Du by getting his son, she said inwardly, wearing a jealous look. Sir, your tea, Shen Mu said to Lin Du, placing a cup of fresh Luan leaf tea on the table. It's good for digestion, she added. Miss Shi, this is yours, Shen Mu said, holding a cup of tea for Shi Weiyi. Thank you, Shi Weiyi replied with a smile as she stretched out her hand to receive the tea. Oops, Shen Mu exclaimed suddenly, dropping the hot tea and spilling it on Shi Weiyi's hand, injuring her in the process. Shi Weiyi watched calmly as her hand was burnt. I'm so sorry, Miss Shi. I was so careless, Shen Mu said, her demeanor tense at first but then she smirked slightly. Lin Du noticed her change in expression but said nothing. Let's go get you treated, Lin Du suggested to Shi Weiyi, but she shook her head. No worries, she replied, shaking the tea from her hand. Please pass me a tissue. Thank you, Shi Weiyi said to Shen Mu with a straight look, which caught Shen Mu off guard. Yes, Shen Mu responded, taken aback by her response. She noticed that I splashed tea on her on purpose? Shen Mu thought, looking terrified. Do, take Weiyi to get treated now. Use my ice balm, which soothes the skin so it won't leave a scar, Jun Xilan instructed Lin Du. Mu is so bitterly jealous this time, she thought inwardly. Yes, Lin Du replied before turning to Shi Weiyi. Let's go, he said, holding her hand as he led her away to get treated. Thank you, Grandma, Shi Weiyi said happily as she walked with Lin Du out of the room. Shen Mu cleaned the table calmly. Grandma, that woman, she began, but Jun Xilan interrupted her abruptly. I heard that Weiyi has been through a lot, Jun Xilan said, holding her teacup. You recognize her as the madam of the family already? Shen Mu responded with a worried look. Mu, enough. Look what you just did, Jun Xilan said, banging her teacup on the table. Mu, should I send you to study abroad? I will find you a fine husband when you are back. Drop all your fantasies about Du, she said, her tone harsh as she expressed her displeasure with Shen Mu's behavior. Grandma, you have brought me up since my parents died. I just want to stay with you and Lin Du forever, Shen Mu exclaimed, clutching onto Jun Xilan and kneeling down, sounding terrified. Alas, Mu, you'll only hurt yourself like this, Jun Xilan told her gently. She is not a bad child, she's grateful and always treats me like her own grandma. But she's too infatuated with Du and wants to marry no one other than him, she thought, still observing Shen Mu as she knelt in front of her. Mu, make sure not to do anything stupid or even I can't help you, Jun Xilan said, patting her head. Yes, Grandma, I will never make any mistakes, Shen Mu promised earnestly. In another room, Shi Weiyi was being treated by a maid while Lin Du sat calmly next to her. Madam, it's done, the maid informed her, indicating she had finished wrapping Shi Weiyi's burns. Thank you, Shi Weiyi said gratefully. Brew a pot of tea and ask Shen Mu to bring it here herself, Lin Du instructed the maid as she was about to leave. Yes, the maid replied with a bow. You really like the tea she served? Shi Weiyi asked him curiously. Are you jealous? Lin Du countered, folding his hands and looking at her with a straight face. Not jealousy, but bitterness. I might snap at her later. So take care of yourself, sir, Shi Weiyi said, forming her hand like a gun and looking at him with a cheerful expression. "You're really a cheeky one, aren't you? Are you dumb? You didn't even give a shout when you got burned?" Lin Du retorted, looking unimpressed. "What's the use of shouting? Would it change the fact that I got burned?" Shi Weiyi asked him calmly. "I've been trained in Dragon Scale College, and I've been through all kinds of injuries. My skin is like dragon scale, and hot water is like nothing to me," she thought, looking at her bandaged hand. "Monster," Lin Du remarked, watching her with a sideways glance. "A monster as pretty as me? Don't think so," Shi Weiyi replied with a wink. "How cocky she is," Lin Du thought, abruptly looking away from her, feeling somewhat childish. "Sir, Miss Weiyi, would you like some tea?" Shen Mu asked, walking into the room and holding a tray. Shi Weiyi moved closer to Lin Du. "Honey, you really like drinking tea, so how about I make tea for you every day?" Shi Weiyi said, wrapping her hand around his shoulder with a smile, causing Lin Du to watch her speechless and perplexed by her sudden change of demeanor. "Does Lin Du only likes the tea I make?" Shen Mu thought inwardly as she approached them. "Du, here is your tea," Shen Mu said, holding a cup of tea for Lin Du. Instead of accepting it, Lin Du turned the cup over, pouring the hot tea onto Shen Mu's hand. "Ah!" Shen Mu cried out in pain. "Du, it hurts," she said with a teary look. "It serves you right. That's how burning tea works," Lin Du told her with a cold expression. "Ah!" Shen Mu muttered, feeling shaken by Lin Du's words. "Du, why did you say that?" she asked him, looking tense. "I've never pointed out your inappropriate behaviors before for Grandma's sake, but if you dare to splash water on my wife, I'll cut off your hands and feed them to Sebastian," he threatened with a terrifying look. "Sir, I'm sorry. Please spare me. I will never do it again," Shen Mu said, dropping to her knees and begging for forgiveness. "This is your last warning. Go away," Lin Du ordered, waving his hand at her. "Yes," Shen Mu replied, her voice shaky as she gently left the room. As Shen Mu walked away, Shi Weiyi called out to her to wait up. "Miss Weiyi, what can I do for you?" Shen Mu asked nervously, turning her head to face her. "Just one thing. I hope you'll change the way you're addressing me. Call me madam from now on," Shi Weiyi told Shen Mu calmly. "You," Shen Mu said quietly, giving Shi Weiyi a cold look. "I'm Du's cousin, and you dare to address yourself as madam? Do you think you can treat me like a maid?" she thought angrily. "What?" Lin Du asked her coldly, while Shi Weiyi hugged him closer. "Your answer?" they both demanded, giving Shen Mu a stern look. Yes, madam," Shen Mu said reluctantly, bowing slightly as she tensed up. "No way. I will never allow this woman from nowhere to climb up and boss me around," she thought inwardly, feeling resentful. Shi Weiyi watched her quietly, maintaining her composure. "Sir, I feel sore. Blow on my boo-boo," Shi Weiyi said in a playful, baby-like tone, showing Lin Du her burnt hand. "Well, I'll do this one favor for you," he said, taking her hand. "She got hurt because of me after all," he thought, blowing gently on her bandaged hand. Shi Weiyi leaned forward and kissed his forehead in gratitude. "Damn, this woman is doing this on purpose," Shen Mu muttered as she watched them, looking tense. "Honey, I thought you liked Shen Mu's tea." "I'm sorry that I misunderstood you," Shi Weiyi said, winking at Lin Du. "You just stole a kiss from me," Lin Du exclaimed, covering his face with a worried expression. "I'm loving it," she told him with a smile, clutching onto him tightly. "Well, madam, Grandma asked me to tell you this. Please prepare dinner for young Master Zhuo yourself and help him get over his picky eating," Shen Mu said, her voice tinged with disdain as she observed them. "Is Zhuo picky about food?" Shi Weiyi asked, her expression concerned. "He doesn't like veggies. All the chefs in the family have tried so many ways," Lin Du explained, remembering Zhuo's firm rejection of vegetables. "Daddy, I don't like veggies. I want meaty," Zhuo had often insisted with a cute expression. "Mom and I have tried our best too, but he just..." Lin Du's voice trailed off softly, uncertain of how to resolve Zhuo's eating habits. "I'll starve him someday," he murmured, troubled. "It's quite troublesome if he's been this way since he was young," Shi Weiyi remarked with a puzzled look. "Still, Zhuo is young enough to learn," she thought to herself. "I'll excuse myself and get ready then," Shen Mu said curtly, turning to leave the room. Shi Weiyi, pushing Zhuo to eat vegetables will only push him away. Let's see who will make a fool of herself tonight, Shen Mu said inwardly as she left the room. Meanwhile, Shi Weiyi pondered over how to tackle Zhuo's picky eating habits. Suddenly, an idea struck her. I've got it, she exclaimed. Sir, have you ever heard of the saying that stolen food tastes better? She asked Lin Du with a mischievous smile. To help our son get over his bad eating habits, you need to play along with me tonight, she added, winking at him. You're quite good at this sort of thing, Lin Du remarked, impressed by her idea. Later that evening, Zhuo arrived at the Lin mansion, announcing his return eagerly. I'm home, he exclaimed, his excitement evident as he entered the house. Welcome back, come here, let me help with your school bag, Shen Mu greeted him warmly, extending her hands to take his bag. But Zhuo dodged her, holding onto his bag tightly. I'll go see Mom first, he declared, running off before Shen Mu could approach him further. Aunt Shen Mu likes Daddy. I don't want to be used by her, Zhuo thought to himself, wary of Shen Mu's intentions. You're back, Shi Weiyi says, making him excited as he lighted up with joy. Mommy, little Zhuo exclaimed. Just in time, I just got the soup cooked, she tells him holding a cooking spoon, still dressed in her apron. Mommy, little Zhuo cried out with joy, tossing his school bag aside as he ran to hug Shi Weiyi. Shen Mu watched silently, contemplating the scene with mixed emotions. What charm does this woman have? She wondered to herself with a sigh. Little Zhuo said, holding his chest with both hands as he stood in front of Shi Weiyi. What's wrong? Are you feeling uncomfortable? Shi Weiyi inquired, her expression turning concerned. What's suffocating me isn't the homework assigned by Daddy, but my love for Mommy in my heart, he replied, holding her hand tightly, his face lit up with joy. Clever little one, Shi Weiyi exclaimed happily, hugging him close as they both smiled at each other. Jun Xilan and Uncle Zhong stood on the staircase, silently observing the heartwarming scene unfold. Mommy, we haven't seen each other for a day. Have you missed Zhuo? Little Zhuo asked, snuggling happily into her embrace. Of course I have, Shi Weiyi replied warmly, looking delighted as she carried him in her arms. Little Zhuo really likes Weiyi. Fate is indeed mysterious, Jun Xilan remarked softly, her gaze following the tender interaction between mother and son. Uncle Zhong's soft remark about the bond between little Zhuo and Shi Weiyi being closer than a typical mother and child struck a chord with Jun Xilan. She smiled faintly, contemplating the complexities of nurturing a child's affection, especially when it came to food preferences. Children can be emotional. If you force them to do things they dislike, they might not like you anymore, she mused inwardly, reflecting on the delicate balance required in parenting. As dinner approached, Shi Weiyi presented a spread of delicious dishes on the table. Jun Xilan expressed her appreciation for Shi Weiyi's culinary skills, acknowledging her efforts warmly as they sat down together. Shen Mu, meanwhile, remained speechless as she carried a tray of food over to little Zhuo. Thank you for the compliments, grandmother. It's my duty, Shi Weiyi replied graciously to Jun Xilan's praise. Shen Mu then directed her attention to little Zhuo, presenting the meal prepared by Shi Weiyi with a smile. Young Master Zhuo, this is a loving, nutritious meal personally prepared for you by the young madam, she announced. Little Zhuo examined the dish before him, his expression revealing his displeasure. The plate contained tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, eggplants, broccoli, and cabbage. Vegetables he clearly wasn't fond of. He said softly, looking like he would puke. It seems it still won't work, Jun Xilan thought as she ate her food slowly. Oh dear. Young master, don't you want to eat vegetables? Don't blame the young madam, she's just worried about you, Shen Mu tells him, sounding sorry as she covered her mouth with her hand. As expected, the young master is going to make a fuss, she thought. I'll take it away right now, Shen Mu said, stretching her hand to take the plate of food. Little Zhuo blocked her hand. It's all right, he declared, showing a bit of resolve. Shi Weiyi pokes at Lin Du. She gave him a wink, signaling him for the commencement of their plan. This woman, sending signals does not mean giving those winks, Lin Du thought, faking a cough. Weiyi, after all, this is the meal you prepared with care. If he doesn't eat it, I will, Lin Du proclaimed, swiftly snatching little Zhuo's food, much to the boy's surprise and dismay. Ah! Little Zhuo exclaimed, caught off guard by his father's unexpected move. Little Zhuo, upset and feeling his meal was taken away, expressed his dismay with a harsh tone, pointing out that the food was made for him by his mother. Lin Du, unmoved by his son's protest, calmly dipped his spoon into the dish. "If you don't eat it, consider it made for me," he tells him with a cold look. How could Daddy be so ruthless to a little kitten? Little Zhuo cried out, reaching out to reclaim his food. Shi Weiyi, observing the scene, felt tense, wondering about Lin Du's stern approach even towards his own son. "Daddy, you're so mean," Little Zhuo exclaimed tearfully, pounding the table in frustration. "I'll eat it all and leave none for you. You can just have the northwest wind tonight." Lin Du continued eating calmly, unfazed by his son's outburst. He muttered, savoring the food. "I thought I'd have to pretend it tastes good, but her cooking is actually not bad." He appreciated the rich and refreshing taste of the seasoned vegetables. "How's it taste?" Shi Weiyi asked Lin Du cheerfully. It's passable, I guess," he replied, pretending not to like it with a cold look. "As long as you like it," she told him with a smile. Shi Weiyi wondered whether Lin Du was just pretending or if he was serious. It seemed like he actually enjoyed the food, but was holding back for some reason. She felt proud of herself as she watched him continue eating. Meanwhile, Little Zhuo, feeling frustrated that his meal and his mother's attention were taken away by his father, nibbled on a lemon in discontent. "Daddy not only took away the nutritious meal Mommy made for me, but he also stole Mommy's attention," Little Zhuo thought as he licked the lemon furiously. He approached Shi Weiyi, tears welling up in his eyes. "I'm willing to eat vegetables, but only if Mummy feeds me," he told her earnestly. "All gone." "Maybe next time," Lin Du said, finishing Little Zhuo's food and stunning his son in the process. "How could Daddy do this to me?" Little Zhuo said aloud, sinking into despair as he whimpered. "I'm determined to join the Father Revenge League," he thought to himself. "That's what you get for being indecisive. Hesitate and you'll lose," Lin Du said, adding to his son's distress. "Zhuo, why don't you share a plate with Mommy?" Shi Weiyi suggested, holding Little Zhuo close, which instantly brought a smile to his face. "Mommy is the best. I want Mommy to feed me," he declared cheerfully. "All right, Mommy will feed you," Shi Weiyi assured him, taking some vegetables on her spoon and feeding them to Little Zhuo. She secretly rejoiced, knowing her plan was working as Little Zhuo happily ate the vegetables. Down the hatch, Shen Mu thought to herself, observing the scene with mixed feelings. "Delicious," Little Zhuo exclaimed after eating. "There's nothing special about this broccoli, so why does it taste good today?" He wondered aloud, his face turning slightly red. "Zhuo, you need to eat both meat and vegetables. You can't be picky or waste food, alright? Your nutrition needs to be balanced," Shi Weiyi advised gently, hoping her stepson would understand the importance of a healthy diet. "You won't grow tall and won't be able to protect Mommy in the future," Shi Weiyi gently chided as she continued to feed Little Zhuo. "Won't grow tall? Absolutely not. Then I'll eat more vegetables, grow up fast, and snatch Mommy back from Daddy," Little Zhuo declared determinedly, his voice full of resolve. "You little rascal," Lin Du thought to himself, observing his son with a mixture of amusement and affection as he sipped his water. "Haha, Weiyi, it looks like Zhuo really likes you. Since Zhuo is willing to listen to you, you have to teach him well from now on, understand?" Jun Xilan remarked, pleased with Shi Weiyi's influence on Little Zhuo. "Don't worry, I'll treat Zhuo as my own son," Shi Weiyi assured her, which only delighted Little Zhuo more as he sat contentedly in her arms. "Oh no, Auntie has acknowledged Weiyi," Shen Mu muttered inwardly, her hands trembling with anger. "Darn it, sometimes the young master doesn't even listen to Lin Du. Why does he listen to his stepmother he just met?" She wondered, feeling frustrated and jealous. "Young Madam OS truly amazing. You're the first woman Little Zhuo has willingly approached in all this time. Usually, even Madam doesn't often gain such favor from him," Shen Mu remarked, causing Jun Xilan to visibly flinch. Shi Weiyi gently set Little Zhuo down on his feet, inwardly amused by Shen Mu's attempt at flattery. "Trying to flatter me to make me off my guard?" Shi Weiyi thought. Shen Mu smirked, contemplating how the elderly madam could accept being overshadowed by a woman her great-grandson had just met. She deftly collected a hot bowl of soup from the maid, watching June Xilan's reaction closely. Miss Shen, Madam loves Zhuo and Zhuo respects Madam. There is no need for Madam to win Zhuo's favor. Besides, the bond between Zhuo and me as mother and son was also fostered by Madam, Shi Weiyi retorted firmly, her voice tinged with anger. Grandmother, the people around you are becoming more and more eloquent, Lin Du interjected calmly, a slight smile playing on his lips as he glanced at June Xilan. Master Qi smiled, Shen Mu thought. She was tensed. The bowl of soup slipped from her hands and shattered on the ground, shocking Shen Mu. Grandma, are you scolded? Shi Weiyi exclaimed, rushing to her feet. I'm sorry, Granny. It's all my fault for being careless and spilling the soup, Shen Mu apologized, trying to clean up the mess. Mumu, no matter what happened before, Granny has always forgiven you, June Xilan said seriously. But this time, I can't overlook it. You'll go to the countryside to cool off for a while, and then go abroad, she tells Shen Mu. Granny, you can't dismiss me just because of a broken bowl, Shen Mu pleaded. I've served you faithfully for years. Grandma isn't keeping you here not because he keeps spilling the tea and soup. You're too selfish, lacking in virtue and even try to sow discord between Grandma and me. How can Grandma let you continue to work by her side nurturing a hidden danger? Shi Weiyi tells her with a cold look. Shen Mu said, looking perplexed. Miss, please, Uncle Zhong intervened gently. Shen Mu finally gave up, rising from the ground with a sigh before walking away. Mumu has indeed crossed a line today. I'll discipline her and ensure she won't trouble you again, June Xilan assured Shi Weiyi earnestly. Don't worry about it, Grandma. I don't mind, Shi Weiyi replied calmly, smiling as she held his hand. Mummy, look. I finished everything. Can I have your cooking again tomorrow? Pretty please? Little Zhuo exclaimed, proudly showing Shi Weiyi his empty plate. Of course you can, she replied affectionately, leaning in to kiss his forehead, which delighted him. Watching them, Lin Du couldn't help but think, this woman always says she wants to be mine, but when Zhuo shows affection, she doesn't refuse. Is she treating me like a pet fish to be raised? Am I jealous? He wondered, startled by his own thoughts. No way. I'm just annoyed by little Zhuo's teasing, that's all, he reassured himself before lifting little Zhuo from his chair. A man shouldn't rely too much on his mother. Aren't you ever going to get married someday? If you don't get married, have no one to care for you in your old age, you might end up in a nursing home where the nurses might pinch you when no one's looking, Lin Du teased, trying to sound stern while bluffing. Then why don't I just marry mommy then? Little Zhuo retorted mischievously, further annoying his father. You need some discipline. Uncle Zhong, take him upstairs to do his homework. He won't be allowed to sleep tonight if it isn't finished, Lin Du ordered, passing his son to the butler. Yes, Uncle Zhong replied cheerfully, lifting little Zhuo in his arms. Young master, let's go upstairs to do your homework, he said, carrying him away. Dad, disciplining me is one thing, but being jealous is another. Don't mix them up. Little Zhuo shouted as he was carried off. Lin Du acts so mature, yet argues with his son like a kindergartner, Shi Weiyi thought, watching calmly with her hands folded. June Xilan observed the scene silently. Later in the evening, June Xilan had a video call with Wu Lifei. Mother, what do you think of Weiyi after meeting her today? Wu Lifei asked calmly. There's something unusual about her, June Xilan replied, holding a book she had been reading. Little Zhuo has such an unpredictable and eccentric personality. No one at home can predict his preferences, but I've found that she always knows what little Zhuo wants. Why do you think that is? June Zilian asked Wu Lifei. I think Weiyi is just good at reading people, Wu Lifei suggested, holding a cup of tea. No, this level of understanding goes beyond what can be explained by being observant. It's as if there's a telepathic connection between mother and child, June Xilan remarked, sounding unimpressed. But that's impossible. Little Zhuo's birth mother and where Weiyi are completely different people. I think Weiyi and little Zhuo simply have a strong bond, that's all, Wu Lifei countered with a smile. June Xilan closed her book firmly. Is there really such a thing as an instant connection that makes you like someone at first sight in this world? She asked with a serious tone. At night, Lin Du approached little Zhuo's room and knocked on the door. Open the door, Zhuo, he called out. I need to talk to you. Lin Du could not sleep because he had OCD. He wanted to figure out if his son was really serious about wooing his wife. Inside, little Zhuo hesitated, refusing to open the door. "Why didn't Daddy count to 3 and threaten me?" he muttered, doodling on his drawing sheet. "Daddy is such a big dummy. I've set up a trap on the door. If he knocks again, he'll get knocked out with one punch," little Zhuo thought mischievously, grinning at his prank. "No need," Lin Du said firmly, pushing the door open suddenly. Little Zhuo jumped in surprise as Lin Du entered. "Last time, you cried and insisted on redecorating your room like this. Your taste is like an old man's, not cute at all," Lin Du scolded his son coldly. "Humph, the disastrous Barbie pink you picked for me before was the real bad taste," little Zhuo muttered, crumpling the paper he had been drawing on and tossing it aside. "What did you say?" Lin Du asked, cracking his knuckles and giving little Zhuo a sinister look, which scared him. "Oh no." Even Ultraman couldn't withstand Daddy's anger, little Zhuo thought nervously as Lin Du rubbed his head instead of scolding him further. "Huh? I didn't get hit," little Zhuo thought inwardly as Lin Du rubbed his head. "Tell me, why do you like Weiyi so much?" Lin Du asked his son. "Oh, so Daddy is jealous of me," little Zhuo thought, wearing a sneer. Lin Du lightly tapped him on the head to calm his ego. "With so many women, why do you particularly like Mommy?" little Zhuo questioned but said aloud. "Who said I like her? She's just the most suitable among all the women to be your stepmother. She's generous, mature, well-behaved, healthy, and fortunate. Thrifty and good at housework. A practical view on choosing a spouse," Lin Du explained, rubbing his head with an unimpressed look. "So, you married Mommy because of me? Will you divorce Mommy in the future?" little Zhuo asked. "That depends on her performance," Lin Du replied coldly. "I reluctantly let go and entrusted my precious Mommy to you, but you dare to belittle her like this?" little Zhuo said calmly, his tone tinged with anger as he tried to compose himself. Patience. A true hero takes a long-term view. As his child, I must stay calm and make compromises in time, little Zhuo thought inwardly. "But no matter what, she has nothing to do with you," Lin Du calmly told him, leaning closer, causing little Zhuo to flinch. "I would definitely snatch Mommy back," little Zhuo protested. "Go to the quiet room for an hour of extra training," Lin Du instructed firmly, lightly tapping his son's cheek. "Ugh," little Zhuo exclaimed in pain. "Darn it, I feel even more irritated," Lin Du thought inwardly, still grappling with unanswered questions. "Daddy's a bad guy," little Zhuo cried as he lay on the floor. Later in his room, Lin Du lay in bed, pondering his thoughts. Aside from Zhuo's approval, why did I choose her among so many women at first glance? He wondered. Beauty? He asked himself. Since when did I, the great Mr. Lin, become so superficial? He mused. Intelligence? Barely passable, I guess, Lin Du muttered to himself. Family background? He asked himself again. There are many more outstanding women than her, he admitted inwardly. So what exactly is the reason? He pondered, hand against his head as he lay in bed. Lin Du recalled Shi Weiyi's smile as he held her face during their wedding, causing him to blush. That strange reaction comes again, he thought, remembering her cold yet soft lips, like jelly, and her warm, shallow breaths that carried a faint freshness like a garden after rain. Darn it, he said inwardly, touching his lips. She's just a woman, right? Why do I act like a virgin who hasn't been with a woman for centuries? Lin Du mused, sitting up in bed. Shi Weiyi unlocked the door and entered the room. "Qi, would you like some chestnut cake?" she asked with a smile, holding a plate with a slice of cake. Lin Du thought, still flushed, his eyes lingering on her lips. Jelly, he thought to himself. He coughed and quickly turned his head away. "Remember to knock next time," he told her tensely. She sat down beside him. "Wow, it smells delicious," she said, leaning closer and holding the cake out to him. She knew that chestnut cake, plus Lin Du's weakness for burlap sack, could make him surrender. "The atmosphere is just right. Would you like to try some?" she asked softly. Lin Du immediately backed off, shifting away from her. "Hey, are you serious about pulling away like that?" Shi Weiyi asked, her tone tinged with anger. "Darn it, can't even win him over like this," she thought to herself. Don't block the way, Lin Du said, rising from the bed and stepping back from her. If you don't want it, I'll give it to Zhuo as a late-night snack. Don't let it go to waste, she told him firmly. Don't go, he said, making her tense as she watched him closely, holding the cake. Late-night snacks aren't good for a child's health, Lin Du explained, glaring at her. Why are you so upset? Shi Weiyi asked him. Is it because of the argument with Zhuo during dinner? She wondered, uncertain of his mood. Zhuo is just a child. You're the father. Be gentle with your own son, she advised softly. I wanted to give him a pleasant evening too, but in the end, he ended up in the quiet room, Lin Du explained. TSK, you're so strict, you've scared Zhuo away. Locking him up again might break his heart, Shi Weiyi said, clutching a pillow and sulking. Shi Weiyi glanced at Lin Du, stating calmly, no, I'm going to sleep with Zhuo tonight. You should rest early too. Lin Du's expression shifted as he quickly moved closer to her. Shi Weiyi? The second day of our marriage and you want to sleep separately? Why? Are you worried people will think our nighttime routines aren't harmonious? He questioned, his gaze intense. Do we have nighttime routines? She stammered, recalling their first night together. Lin Du looked at her silently, visibly tense. Is that a hint? He asked, starting to unbutton his nightwear. What are you doing? Shi Weiyi asked, shaking as she watched him attempt to undo her dress. Didn't you say before you wanted me? What? Have you backed down now? He asked her, leaning closer, prompting her to cover her face, which was red with flush. She mutters, uncovering her eye a bit. So sexy, she thought, observing him. I didn't expect that I'd be able to have my way with you tonight. The more I think about it, the more excited I get, as she stood up, attempting to place her hand on Lin Du's shoulder. So she's learned to play hard to get, Lin Du thought, watching her with a perplexed look. In your dreams, he said coldly, pushing her away from him. You almost went too far. Take a cold shower to cool down, Lin Du thought inwardly, letting out a soft cough as he stepped back, his face flushed. We'll take it slow, Lin Du. I have plenty of patience. Let's see how long you can hold out, Shi Weiyi said inwardly, watching him from her bed. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure. If you enjoyed what you watched, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that notification bell. Your comments mean the world to us and help us improve. The next episode promises even more excitement and unexpected twists, so stay tuned as we embark on this thrilling journey together. Keep the anticipation alive and we'll catch you in the next episode.